Welcome back, Magic Tribe. It is another evening here at the Hearth's Edge. I am Nina Diedrich, the Magic Mom, and we are here to again call forth some energy together as we all join together in prayers of love and awakening for each other, right? We are going to kick off today with a card from our Woman Runes deck. This is by Molly Reamer. It is a variation of the original rune deck created by Shekinah Mountain Water. We're definitely focusing in on this divine feminine energy that is getting ready to really ramp up as we go into June, because June is a 13-month numerically, or I should say numerologically. And we're also going to continue in our adventures with the Urban Crow Oracle by MJ Cullinan. I'm really loving these cards, so we will again pull one card from there, but we're going to start with our Woman Runes deck. I may pull from some other decks after we get through those, but let's start with today. And can you believe that tomorrow is June 1st? I have no idea where the first half of this year went. It's gone by crazy, crazy fast. And I know a lot of you have a lot of things going on too. So I again wanted to say thank you for sticking with us while we were taking a bit of a break. All right, let's get our Woman Runes deck out. Again, these are by Molly Reamer. She does have a Etsy page, I believe it is. It's called Bridget's Grove. I'll try to remember to put that in the comments later in case some of you want to go check out her store. She has some really, really great little goddess figurines that they create and a bunch of other things too. So I highly, highly recommend. I know that is not sponsored in any way, shape, or form, although I am open to that. Oh, and we got a jumper. Now let's see if I can figure out where it went. Oh, there it is. Goodness. All right. Oh, and it's a good one too. Our very first card for tonight is the 39 card. This is the Winged Heart card, or the Rune of Ecstasy. And what better way to kind of harness your desires than to get in touch with, well, one of the most primal feelings of all. So on the card, this card reminds us that this is a transcendent state or a peak experience. It's often akin to orgasm or union with all, an immediate sense of awe and union with the goddess, which is funny because weren't we just talking about divine feminine energy, right? All right, so the 39 card adds up to a 12, which goes down to a 3. 3 is the number of creation. It represents the ultimate trinity. So let's open the book and we'll see what Shekinah Mountain Water originally meant with this book and how Molly Reamer interpreted it. This is kind of a long one. It's not too bad, but we'll go ahead and read this. I'm going to hold this card up. This is a rune of ecstasy, transcendent states, peak experience, orgasm, psychedelica, union with all, awe, union with goddess, and out-of-body experience. How often do you think instead of feel, Magic Tribe? How often do you hold something in your mind rather than feel it in your body? Do you know what ecstasy feels like? Can you allow yourself to experience transcendence, awe, a peak of oneness? Do you know what it is like to have pleasure feel your body, rippling through you and out of your fingertips until you've become a part of the great, seamless, beautiful tapestry that is life, weaving all the time? Whether you pay attention or not, can you spread your arms and sink into the very body of the goddess? Close your eyes and let go, melting into her, dissolving control, releasing, 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 until there is nothing left but pure sensation and awe. Adjust your life, your expectations, and your grasping until ecstasy becomes a regular part of your living and being. This is your birthright, not a one time treasure, but an awareness to be lived and regularly played with, touched, smelled, tasted, felt. Dive in, let it roll over you, let it sweep you away on the wings of passion and delight. When this rune is drawn, you know it is not the time for holding on, for standing steady, for grounding, for digging in. It is the time for expansion, for ripples of joy to flood you. It's time to be swept away, carried away, freed, flying, ecstatic, alive. It's time to soak your heart in the streams of change, the ocean of possibility in the arms of all that is. Because there is nothing to lose and everything to gain, right? And is that, or is that not one of the highest truths that ever existed? There is not to lose, but there is everything to gain in releasing what maybe you thought was meant for you. And in that way, you can make room for that which actually is meant for you. Good evening, Genevieve. I love that little bee emoji. It's so cute. All right. Just as a clarifier, we're going to go ahead and look at this bottom card. Oh, nice. Okay, so it is the Moon and Star card, which is on the bottom. This is a rune of faith, inspiration, truth, and psychic healing. And I don't know anything more psychically healing than just the knowledge that you are embodying that divine feminine state. And in the merger between your divine feminine and your divine masculine selves, you find the unity that is all that is, right? The Trinity, which is you. And that's what we're kind of learning how to let go of. That feeling of separateness that really doesn't exist, right? In our human vehicles, yes, there is me and there is you. But in the ultimate, in the actual all, we are one, right? So I recognize the magic in all of you as you recognize the magic in me. And in that actualization of that truth, we recognize the magic of all that is. All right. Let's dive into our Urban Crow Oracle. Let's see what our next card is in our little series. Remember last time we had the Freedom card, which is very, very apt in all of this, right? Because in the knowledge that we are all one, there is an ultimate freedom in that. We're all just tiny, tiny fractals of the same whole. All right, let's continue our little saga here. There's our card. Ooh, and we get the 38. A little bit of a backstep from the 39. But in this, we realize our protection, right? The fact that we are safe, loved, protected, by the angels and prosperous beyond measure. That is our ultimate birthright. And while we may not be necessarily here to learn something, we are here to experience something. And it is that freedom, that knowledge that if we're paying attention, we will not be led astray, right? Let's see what MJ Cullinane has to say about this protection card. I love the poppies in the background, and we have one concentrating on what it's doing while the other watches, which is always great. We always need to know that knowledge that someone has our back, right? The universe does, believe it or not. All right, let's get our book. Let's see what she has to say about the number 38 in her deck. All right, and we have the protection card. Hopefully you guys can see that okay. The protection card is reminds us that crows are fiercely protective of things they cherish. When she created this card, she wanted you to feel at that moment, or she wanted you to feel at that moment that you were protected. With everything going on in the world, knowing that there is something greater out there watching over us creates space for peace. It is when we feel at ease that we can create, that we can grow. Hold this card when you need to feel at one with your higher self and divine spirit, as together they offer protection. Use this card as a sign to move forward, knowing that you are protected. Lean into this energy during times of stress or when you're feeling vulnerable. Doing so will allow you to shift your focus away from fear and restriction to feeling confident to take action. Right? And that is ultimately what we are being asked to do, to lean into that faith and that knowledge that everything's always working out for us, right? All our wants and needs are met above and beyond our greatest expectation, if that's what we allow by managing that fear, that false evidence appearing real. And if we can do that, well, those doors open. Or I should say, you get the knowledge that they were always open to begin with. It's just a matter of whether or not you saw them. Because ultimately, you will experience what it is that you expect. So make sure you are really, really, really managing those expectations. And try to state all of your prayers as a desire instead. And that there's a little bit of freedom. You're not waiting for somebody else to hand you something. You have that knowledge that, well, that something is already yours. You're just waiting for it to show up in the physical. Right? And that's kind of a really good practice to get into as we go into this 13 months. And ultimately, this next 13-month cycle as well. There's going to be a lot of things that are kind of sliding around and creating room for those things that we have been calling in by the work that we have done over the last 13 months. Okay. So where have you been putting in that work in your own life? We all know where I've been putting in the work for mine. All right. So freedom leads us into the knowledge of protection, which is a fantastic place for us to get a little bit of a reminder from the universe that the universe really does have our back. So how about we actually pull out that deck by Gabrielle Bernstein? And we will grab a little, oh, I just hit my knee on the desk. We will grab a little bit of a reminder from one of our favorite decks. This is an oldie but a goodie. And let's see what message it has for us tonight as we all gather. Oh, that is a lot. Oh, that's too big. Oh, there we go. Funny, we were talking about this already too. So our reminder from the universe has your back deck says oneness is our true nature, right? And it really is. Even the parts of you are not separate. We talk about the divine masculine half and the divine feminine half, but this has all been about them reuniting in the ultimate sacred union, creating that trinity in yourself, right? So whether you think about it with your emotional, physical, and spiritual bodies, or however you envision that little triangle of awesome that is you, it is that ultimate reminder. And it's not just you, everybody is on this journey. We're just kind of all on it at different levels, right? Think of it like a ladder. And those of us who are higher up are holding that light up for those who are coming up behind us. It would be pretty scary if all of us just awakened at the same time, right? So, little by little, our consciousness is increasing till we hit a critical mass point. And if you look at all of the chaos around you, then you know what I'm talking about. But it will all work out, right? Because everything's always working out for us. And, you know, if you say that enough, it becomes what you expect. And you indeed have green lights all the way. So remember to focus on those tools in your tool basket that we have all been working on over the last 5 years or so, especially. And just lean into that knowledge, that serenity that you are protected and all things are working out for you. And that is going to be our message for tonight, my loves. Until next time, remember, favor follows you wherever you go, as does my love. Be good. Be good at it. And I'll see you all again here tomorrow at 8 p.m. when we reconvene. Thank you so much for sharing my space. I couldn't do any of this without you. Bye now. Love you. Have sweet dreams.